Somebody came to me not too long ago because of what's happening in the world and asked, how come Allah is letting that happen? How come Allah doesn't just stop it? Because it's a fitna from Allah. It's a fitna from, how come Allah doesn't just stop it? So the question then becomes, let's think about this reasonably. If you want Allah to stop it, if you want Allah to intervene, should Allah not intervene every time you and I disobey Allah? Where do you draw the line? No, if they're killing people, then Allah should stop. But if they're stealing, that's not so bad. It's okay, Allah doesn't have to intervene yet. No, not that much control, but after some limits, Allah should just stop things. Allah put human beings on this earth and He allowed them to be a fitna for each other. And when we take the fitna that we put each other in, human beings put each other in fitna, and then we say, no, this is Allah's fault. Allah's the one who did this, not the people. That is what's called when you put yourself in fitna. Allah created a situation and allowed you to be tested to see how I'm going to do, how you're going to do. That's it. So the final question is, why did Allah allow it to happen? For two reasons. Allah was testing the thief, and Allah was testing me. And that person has already failed because they stole. Now the only part left is, what am I going to do? Am I going to pass this test or not? Because there's two different tests. You don't even have to be Muslim to understand this. Allah put in our nature the understanding that actually it is human beings that put each other in difficulty. If you were driving your car right now and somebody hit you in the back, immediately you don't say, Ya Allah. You look back and say, hey man, why are you on the phone? Immediately you blame the guy who hit you. You didn't blame Allah. You didn't blame Allah. You say, hey, give me your driver's license. Let's call the police. You're holding him responsible immediately, yes? People do stupid things to each other. But Allah never allows even those stupid things to not have a wise purpose behind them. That's why He's Al-Hakim. There's never any test that Allah put me through except that I was going to benefit from it. Somehow it was going to be something that raises me in ranks. People are doing something wrong to you. People are doing something messed up. And then you convert that in your head. Why is Allah letting this happen? This must be Allah punishing me. Or because everything happens by the will of Allah, we should blame Allah for everything bad that happens. Now, how do we understand the solution? What Allah has done is separated those two things. Allah allowing something to happen is not the same as Allah desiring something to happen. Allah allows many things to happen in this world that make Allah angry. Allah in fact gets angry in the Quran. There's a difference between the pleasure of Allah out of His desire to do something, out of His will, but rather more He allowed it to happen. He in His wisdom decided, I will allow certain things to happen even though He Himself is not pleased with those things. He gave human beings that freedom to do things that are displeasing to Him. Allah has given me the freedom to displease Him. Forget talking about anybody else. I'm not here to talk about Fir'aun or Shaitan, I'm here to talk about myself. And every one of us should be thinking about themselves. Allah has given me the ability to disobey Him. Allah has given me the freedom to upset Him, the freedom to make Him angry, the freedom to backbite, the freedom to slander, the freedom to eat haram, the freedom to attack someone else, to hurt someone else, to steal. He's given me that freedom. He's given me the reign to do it. How come the zalim gets away with it? Before we say that, I have to ask myself.
When you ask the question, where is God? Why is God not stopping evil from happening? The first question, that is the right question to ask, is, why do I even have right to ask that question? Because the single reason you have right to ask that question is the single reason you have right to go to work, to come back to work, to eat food, to eat what you want to eat, to say what you want to say. That's exactly the problem. Because God has given human being the will to choose. And part of the choices we make is part of what is causing the problem in the world, not God. And if God should take things back and do it in His own way, then you can't even ask this question. You can't even go to work when you want to. We will be robots. So next time when anybody will ask that question, ask yourself, the right I have is given to me to make a better choice. But when you make a bad choice, then you face the consequences, regardless of who. That's why evil is in the world. God has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with the choices we make.